Hi, I'm Dr. Rick Fitzgibbons. It's a pleasure being here with you. I would like to talk with you about fighting one of the major enemies of love and one of the major enemies of psychological health, and that is selfishness. While selfishness is appealing to many of us, it has a certain allurement to it, as does all sin. It's extremely dangerous to us. It's dangerous to our health. It's dangerous to our marriages. It's dangerous to our friendships. It's dangerous to our children. It's dangerous to our faith. It's dangerous to the church. So what does selfishness do to us? It does something that's very terrible to us. It turns us in upon ourselves. Okay? So we are created to give ourselves. The great John Paul II said in most of the countries he visited, he quoted the Second Vatican Council, and he said, "Man cannot find himself except through a sincere gift of himself." So that, contrary to cultural thinking, you don't find yourself by looking out for number one, by taking care of yourself, being preoccupied with your happiness and how you feel at every moment of the day. You find yourself with your pleasures. You find yourself by giving yourself fundamentally to others. Selfishness has taken a terrible toll on the sacrament of marriage over the past 40 years and on the priesthood. Selfishness is one of the major reasons why 1 million children per year, 1 million children per year, experience the breakup of their parents' marriage. This is the leading cause of divorce in the United States and worldwide. Okay? It is a major cause of sadness and loneliness in people's lives, because what happens is when you're turned in upon yourself over time, you're isolated. And we're made in the image of God, so we're meant to be giving. We're meant to find happiness through others and with others, not in using others. Selfishness has severely damaged many young people in terms of making them not open to married life, making them seek escape into cohabitation, in which 3/4 of those relationships will end and not last. In children, it damages them by making them turn into their looking at their iPads or their video games and not be present to other people. It interferes, all this texting, interferes with the development of healthy interpersonal relationships. In the church, it was a major factor in the crisis in the church and those priests who used adolescent males as sexual objects. So it needs to be fought against in every vocation. And how do you do that? Well, first of all, you become aware that you are selfish. Most of us deny it. I know that before I became married, I have a wife who can correct me now when I'm selfish, but I had a hard time recognizing my own selfishness. It's hard to see it in ourselves. So if you're being married, it can be good to ask your wife or your kids, do you think I've given into selfishness? And if you have, apologize for it. But the major virtue, one of the major virtues that helps us conquer selfishness is generosity, growing in giving yourself and in self-denial, denying yourself for the happiness of your spouse, denying yourself for the happiness of your children or your friends or your father or your mother or your parishioners or your priest friends or your religious friends. To get into the habit of wanting to give, thinking more about giving love to others than taking love. That old proverb is very accurate. Where you want love, put love, and you will find love. So this obsessional search for happiness and pleasure that drives selfishness basically leads nowhere. It's in self-denial. It's in healthy self-giving that we are truly happy. If you're married, it's very important to try to reject the psychological view of marriage, to understand the true view of marriage as the denial of yourself and seeking happiness in giving and in having children. If you're a priest, it's very important that you preach the fullness of the Church's teaching on sexual morality and not worry what your brother priests are going to say about that or what your parishioners are going to say about that. You see, because when we become selfish, what happens is we care too much about what other people say about us or what they think about us. And we need to overcome that. We need to conquer human respect. We want to, first and foremost, want to please God. And if we're driven to please God, if we desire to please God, we're not going to be too concerned about what others think about us. We're on a mission. We're on a mission to do God's will. We're on a mission to help people in our marriages, in being single, in being children and teenagers, a priest or religious, and we help people by denying ourselves, by fighting this ancient enemy of selfishness, which has the power to destroy us. Look, let's be honest about this. This destroys marriages. It's the major reason in the 70s and 80s there was a massive exodus from the sacrament of holy orders. It's a major reason people leave friendships. So we have to take this enemy seriously. We have to fight against it. And we need, and one of the major ways we do that is, quite frankly, by becoming more Christ-like. That's the goal of having a healthy personality. The goal of having a healthy personality is to grow in virtues, to grow in grace, and to become another Christ to others. If we do that, if we make that our goal, then selfishness will not rule us. It will not damage our marriages. It will not damage priestly life. It will not damage our friendships. And then we'll be truly free.